on the phone and tried to find somebody that could help her and got her into therapy, and unfortunately got her into the worst therapist we could possibly have gotten her into.
Finding the right therapist who understands FBT is important. Children who feel closest to their family members report greater success in overcoming anorexia than those that feel more distant.
A book that really helped us was Harriet Brown's book, Brave Girl Eating. And it was just nice to read about a mother and a family that had gone through the same things that we were going through.
We'd read it and say, yes, that is exactly our experience too.
Yeah. One quote here that was also what we experienced says, "Most teens with anorexia turn away from their families, a process that's encouraged by most therapists and treatment providers."
Part of recovery for many children is learning to communicate more openly with their family, especially with their parents, about what's going on within them emotionally. Contrary to what many therapists believe, that the importance of confidentiality and talking individually with the child, FBT views the family as an important resource, and working with the family and helping the family communicate more openly about the stresses, the anxiety the child is going through seems to be much more helpful than having the child individually work with a counselor and not share that with the family.
At the beginning of our daughter's anorexia, we did not have an FBT counselor, and we accepted her psychologist's claim that confidentiality was essential. Confidentiality was the only option he gave us. But we feel like that confidentiality backfired and tended to separate us from our daughter. My daughter came to believe that she needed to keep stressful feelings and daily challenges inside her until she went to see her counselor every week. This not only distanced her from everybody in the family, but unintentionally taught her that her family was not her best resource for help. Continuing such isolating therapy was one of the worst mistakes that we made. And we believe it detracted from recovery and prolonged our daughter's fight with anorexia.
Parents have a right to be well informed about the treatment of their children.
Our daughter embraced the identity of anorexic. And when a therapist would tell her things about being anorexic, she held on to those as if those were what she's supposed to do.
If a therapist just listens to an anorexic child's dark story, sort of the listening empathetically in some ways reinforces it. And what needs to happen is that story needs to be challenged. And they need to be taught how to talk back to that negative view, that negative thinking, the incorrect perspective.
I really wish I had understood what skills could be taught and would have worked with the therapist to teach skills to my daughter, like how to deal with anxiety or how to communicate through feelings. All of those skill-based treatments, I would have been thrilled about.
The most helpful thing from the professionals, I think, was teaching my daughter emotional coping mechanisms, mostly yoga-based, meditation-based, recognizing the negative impact of anorexia and recognizing triggers and anxiety and being able to, in that moment, have coping ways, whether counting or different finger movements. And I think that was helpful, kind of a calming the mind.
Really, as parents, you have to be informed and search for a therapist that understands FBT and will work with you through FBT and utilize your strength as a person who loves your child more than anybody else in this world. No therapist will love your child like you do. No therapist will give her your heart and your soul like you will. And that is powerful. And FBT embraces that love and embraces that the connection that will not die.